the Bluegrass. Now, you probably associate that tournament, wrestling and basketball, with Fairdale High School. Funny I should bring that up, right? Because we have one of Fairdale's 2 state wrestling champions with us today. Sir, if you would.
I'm Jude Powell.
And you are from Fairdale High School?
Yes, sir.
Class of, it's hard for me to say this because I'm class of 03, class of 2023. There's no way I've been out of high school 20 years, but I guess that's what the calendar says. And you are the 175-pound state champion for Fairdale.
Yes, sir.
And the crazy thing about Fairdale is when you think, Fairdale, you think this, athletic program, all the sports, you always see their names. No matter what it is, they're always highly ranked. But Fairdale only has 2 state wrestling champions. And it's the other one, in case you're wondering, is from 1990, 171 pounds against Thomas Sanders. So maybe we can get a 1990-2023 duel going or match going on because both you guys, same weight class basically. So maybe we can get that set up. But we're here today in your home. Thank you for having me. I met your parents and here. Now, what part of Louisville is this? I'm not really familiar with.
Oh, this is Valley Station.
Valley Station. Beautiful area. I mean,
thank you.
It's really, really nice place. And I got to ask, what gets a young Jude Powell into wrestling?
So, it's actually one of my older brothers. He, when he went to Dawes High School, actually, he ran into a coach who recruited him onto the team, and that's where it all started. And I remember him coming home and just telling us, I found the coolest sport ever and showing us wrestling moves on the living room floor. And I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And, since that day, I knew, wrestling was my sport.
About how old were you think?
About 4, because I know I wasn't old enough to actually wrestle yet. He was telling me when I turned 5, that's when I can actually, join a team and get to wrestle.
Oh, well, that's usually the way that most of our stories have started is, big brother comes home, dad was on the team, cousins, neighbors, somewhere in the neighborhood or family. I could tell you how many stories we've got on the channel of I remember going watching, my cousin at the dungeon, or I remember, watching my big brother win it at, in Frankfurt or wherever. And it's cool that it's kind of like a lineage, if you will, and just because you don't have family in wrestling doesn't mean you can't, start wrestling. But it's cool though to see, like you said, like we done Dean Williams. We're actually not too far from where we done Dean Williams' video at. Dean's dad, Kentucky wrestling started in 1964. Dean's dad placed 3rd. Then in 65 and 66, Dean's dad won a state championship. And then Dean come along in 98 for Seneca and won it. So it's cool though to see keeping families into wrestling, bringing new people in. And you can never let, big brother have one up on you. You can never let big brother be like, oh, I placed 4th. What have you got, little bro?
The tough guy.
Now there's that commercial for Allstate where it's, mayhem's everywhere. And I'm your overly aggressive brother. And they break the outside basketball. That's the way it is, man, when you got brothers. And I think your mom said you have 11 brothers and sisters or 10?
So I have 8 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm the 11th. So
oh, my goodness.
Super competitive family. I still compete with my brothers to this day. And they're still putting a whooping on me.
I can understand that. Now, so you about 4 or 5, somewhere there, 4. You start now. Do you join when you get 5? Do you mom, dad, please put me in a camp or a club team, or how does that work?
Yeah, so Dawes didn't actually have a feeder program, so we actually just started that with me and my brothers. So it was Dawes area, and it was just me and my 2 other brothers. And we were just coached by some of the high schoolers who had graduated. And from on there, we were Dawes area just wrestling in local tournaments. And that's where it all started. So.
I got you. Now, do you wrestle in middle school?
Yeah, so I actually moved from a whole bunch of different teams.
Okay.
So it started at Dawes. And, I'd gone to St. X wrestling camps and stuff like that. But that's when I went on. After that, I went to Fairdale, and I was
I got
wrestling at Fairdale since probably about 4th grade.
I got you.
So I went from Fairdale to Colts, which is D. Sales' middle school or youth program, and then I went to River City 8th grade year, which is St. X's program. Which I'm sure they've heard it before with some of the interviews. I think AJ Bender and some of them.
Oh yeah, AJ. I think it was AJ. There's a couple other guys that I've met along the way, and of course you guys know I referee, and you always see, like you said, River City. You always see River City just about every tournament. The Colts wrestling and all that. And then Mike Sullivan's Legends. You always see them and Robbie Bodner. Robbie's videos on the channel, 1995 state champion. So you get into high school. Let's kind of go through your, I guess your state tournament seasons, if you will. 2020, 120 pounds. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, now just pay attention to that 120 pounds. 120 pounds, you make it, but you don't play. So you're a freshman. It's, you're there, you get the experience. At that time, it was at the horse park. I actually got to officiate the 2020. I may have had one of your matches. I don't remember. I have to go back and check the archive on that. 2021, we all know what happened. Miss Rona was running wild, and that was our semi-state. We had 4 semi-states, and if you don't know, we'll catch you up to speed. The 4 semi-states, the top 2 got to go to the state tournament. So the top 8, if you made it to the state tournament, you got a place. I don't think you could have got a tougher draw. I don't think anybody in the whole entire tournament that year had a tougher draw than what you did. First round, you're starting off with Payne Carr, because you don't know Payne goes on to win it. Then you get to the consolation semis, and you're wrestling the year prior state champion, Ty Lehman from Trinity.
Yeah. And,
of course, you end up coming in 6th place that year. So, as a sophomore, you're placing, but it's kind of one of those throwaway, years.
Yeah, very odd year.
If you could wrestle through COVID and place through COVID, then you could do just about anything. I mean, because that was a very, we wasn't even sure if we were going to have a season or not. We don't know. And it was, are they going to, certain school districts wasn't allowing wrestling. Certain couldn't go to tournaments, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. But, we got it done. 2022. Now, this is when you really kind of start, showing up in the rankings. You kind of start showing up in, oh, wow, no, this dude, whoa.
Yeah.
Do we need to adjust our lineup around this guy, because he's probably going to be, in the finals. He's probably going to be tops. You come in 2nd place. You drop a tough 7-3 decision to Braden Genome from Lafayette. And in case you don't know, Braden also won 2020 152-pound state championship. So you had a tough out in the finals. And probably Braden would have been a 3-time, but I think he didn't wrestle the state finals
due to COVID.
The COVID year. So very good possibility Braden would have been a 3-timer for Lafayette. But that's still, you beat Jeffrey Kinley, he placed 6th. You beat Freddie Scarborough from Oldham County. You beat Tristan Turner. Just a lot of good names there. But you come up, 1 spot short.
Yeah.
So 2023 comes around. After season ends in the summertime, are you thinking, okay, this is the year of Jude Powell?
Oh, absolutely. I've just been cutting it so close, almost my whole career. I was in the finals 7th and 8th grade year in middle school, and then all the way back up to junior year, made it to the finals. Like coming into senior year, I took it very personal that, a lot of pressure on my chest. So many people, I thought, this day would come. So coming to the year, I was really focused and just hitting it hard every single day.
I got you. Now, the Rona, we're not going to go into, our thoughts on that, but the Rona had ended. You're finally able to kind of get back into a similar, very familiar workout routine. Do you go to any off-season tournaments, any camps, anything like that? Because, you check social media, every weekend somewhere there's an off-season tournament, whether it's in one of the Carolinas, somewhere down south, somewhere in Tennessee, maybe somewhere over here at the Louisville Exposition Center. Do you do any off-season tournaments?
Yeah, absolutely. So most of my off-season that I've done was mostly sophomore year.
Okay.
Or even, I would say sophomore year, because 2 weeks before school let out, I actually tore my meniscus and had to get surgery. So there was not a lot of off season leading up to senior year.
I got you.
But I was doing off season with Randy Wheeler.
Okay. Yep.
So that I was putting a lot of work. I was wrestling with Wade.
Mm-hmm.
I think what did he place at 190?
Off the top of my head, we'd have to.
I'm not sure, but he's a good wrestler. That's who I was working with mainly, almost every day, leading up before the injury. But so I didn't get to do much all season. That was a couple weeks after Freestyle State that I tore my knee.
I got you. Okay. So you come in though to the state tournament, and we're not, of course, you win, but the record has you at 50-1. So you come in at, what would that be? I guess 45 or 46-1.
Yeah, something like that into the state tournament.
Yeah, 46-1. So nobody cares about the 46. Tell us about the 1. Everybody wants to know what happened with the 1.
Yeah. So that was our second time wrestling. That was second time wrestling Gavin Ricketts. So the first time was an overtime match, and I luckily pulled away with that win, and that was at Bellarmine.
Okay.
And that was his, I believe, first loss of the year being in Kentucky. And so we knew we would be in the same semi-state leading up to the wrestling match.
Oh,
and,
okay.
So we had just been, I know he had been working hard. I'd been, working, and sure enough, we met up in the finals semi-state. And yeah, that was a tough match. We were just battling it out. We had already wrestled each other once, so we were a little bit comfortable. We knew what each other worked. I knew what I should have been working on, and because he's really strong. He's close up in that close grip, and he'll just kind of hold on to you there. So I was working on not getting my stall calls like I did the first match. And
right.
That was our second match, went into overtime as well.
Oh, did it
and
really?
I believe that may have went into double overtime, and I ended up losing on a stall call.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Man alive. So you're coming in, like I said, 46-1 to the state tournament. The first round at the state final round, you're wrestling Charlie Alford, Campbell County. You win that by a fall, 58 seconds. So you're there to make a statement.
Yeah.
I ain't messing around. This is the year of Jude Powell. Fairdale, who up, right?
Absolutely.
Second round, or I guess it would be the quarters, you're wrestling Jack James from Paducah Tillman. You win that by a fall in 1:13 seconds. Jack James goes on to get third. And in case you're not familiar, Paducah won the team title. I mean, Paducah had a stacked team this year. They were loaded. They knocked Union off, and Union. I mean, they've won it to that year. They'd won it 7 years in a row, going for their 8th. So to knock Union off, and if I'm not mistaken, Union beat Paducah in the regional team standings and the semi-state team standings. But when it come time, man, for that final round, Paducah showed up.
Yeah. Leading into the finals was really, really where they pulled off. I think they had 5 for 5 in the finals, and that's crazy.
Yeah, they had Malachi and they had Uriah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to make a trip out to Paducah, do the Paducah Union County at some point this year. We've been trying to work on that since last year, but I think we're going to try to get it set up. Now, you get to the semifinals. You're wrestling Joshua Strayer, Great Crossing, and you win that by a fall in 59 seconds. So 3 matches, 3 first-round pins, and Strayer goes on to get 5th that year. And Great Crossing, they tied for 3rd with Johnson Central this year for the team standings. So you've wrestled so far of the 2 placers. Of those placers, you had the state champion team, tied for 3rd place team, and you've pinned both of them in the first period. So, man, you're here to...
Yeah, I'm really trying to conserve energy, stay away from any possible chances of injuries or, unexpected losses,
Right.
And really make a statement, too. I believe that I was the best wrestler, and I was there to show that. So.
And talking about, getting off the mat, we're filming this on a Sunday morning, and as of this filming, the Friday night before, Spencer Lee of Iowa, 3-time national champion, got pinned in the, I believe it was the semifinals, quarterfinals?
Yes.
I guess it was going into the semifinals, or the semifinals, going for the finals. The kid from Purdue pinned him there's the video of his mom, crushing her glasses up, and I can see getting it done. Not giving a chance for anybody to pull a fast one on you. So you win your semifinals that Saturday afternoon. You have 2, 3, 4 hours before the finals. Of course, we roll right through them. But do you go off by yourself? Are you watching? Are you doing TikTok videos? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm really distancing myself from any type of distractions.
I got you.
Which is really, some of my fans or family, and for the most part, I was in the warm up room, and leading up to the finals. The second the finals started, I was actually in the warm up room, and I thought there would be a lot more finalists back there, but there was me, George Furry, and Lane Kaiser, and we just all kind of stuck back there and hung out, and
I got you.
I didn't need to watch anything. I was trying to get ready myself. So
listen, I completely understand. Now, in the finals, you are wrestling, I guess, your arch rival for this year, Gavin Ricketts of Union County. Now, of course, we have the video. We have a lot of video on this. We have the Parade of Champions, we have the face-off, the match, and medal ceremony. And we're not going to tell you how it goes. We're going to score it along as we go. But do you finish? Because I was at the state tournament, but I don't remember the progression, how it went. Did you finish your match first, or did he finish? Did you know who you're going to be wrestling as soon as, or you watch a little bit of his, or how does it go?
Yeah, he had finished his match first.
Okay.
He was wrestling Ryle, and so I saw that. It was a good match. I think he either teched him, or I know for sure a major, maybe pinned, but it was a pretty dominant win.
Okay.
And that's when I came out and I knew he left with a statement. It was time to for me to shine. So
I completely understand, and that's we got formats here now. Of course, this is probably going to be the last year at GRC. GRC was a good host for what they had to do. Had to pivot for the COVID. We understand that, but with the adoption of girls wrestling, it's time for a bigger venue. It's time for a better venue. And like I said, no knock on GRC. GRC, you guys done excellent. Like I said, for what you had to do, you had a big enough gymnasium, you had enough parking. It's just, this sport deserves, like we just finished up, the boys and girls state basketball. I mean, they play at Rupp Arena. The state football is held at Kroger Field in Lexington. The boys and girls, or the boys baseball and girls softball is held at the UK athletic complex. I mean, all these big college or big arenas that we have here in our state, they're used for their state championship. There's no reason why we shouldn't have the same treatment. Did you get to attend any of the state tournaments at the Dungeon in Frankfort?
I did when my older brother was wrestling, and I did get to go witness that. And I really liked that it was almost dark where the fans are sitting, and the shine is where the wrestlers are performing.
That single mat, everybody have their team colored glow sticks, and everybody had their own pockets of of the arena. But we are going to get your medals, your brackets, all that. Get them out, let you guys see them. We'll catch you guys there. What a beautiful sight. State champion 2023 KHSAA. I love that they hand these signs out now. Just a cool little memento to have for everybody. They do one for all the individuals, whether it's swimming and diving, cross country, track and field, wrestling, whatever it is. And they also do one for the team, and it's cool. You go to these gyms and you see them in the trophy case, or you'll see the teams holding them up or whatever. And it's just a really cool memento. And of course, we've got the Kentucky Wrestling Coaches Association plaque that I'm not exactly sure what year they started handing these out, but this is another. I mean, you get a teaching job or whatever it is that you decide to do in life. Hang this up on the wall. Everybody walks in. Oh yeah. Huh? I could take you. What's up? I could take you down. But man, it's cool. You got this. I think it's also sponsored partially by the KWOA, Kentucky Wrestling Officials Association. Now, the bracket, I think this is right off of track wrestling, but it's cool. It's got everybody's name.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites. That's probably what I need to get that framed, because I really like being able to see everything, everyone's records, everyone's names.
Right. And, getting to do this and traveling and meeting with, gentlemen. The earliest that I've met with somebody is Dean Williams' dad, Dean Williams Sr., from when wrestling started in 1964. And there's no bracket. All it is the KHSAA website has like the top 3 place winners. And he's like, man, what I wouldn't give to see my bracket, after all these years. And it just wasn't something that, people kept. But, man, you've got this. I'm sure at some point this will be, framed or, put in some type of protective. But it's cool, man, that you got this. You can keep it forever. You've also got now is this the one you were handed on the podium?
I think so. Maybe not. I think I had these 2 on the podium, and then I grabbed this and that after on the way out.
That's very possible. You got another, cover me up here so the shot looks better. You got another bracket here, man. It's got, of course, your winning score there at the end, and just a cool memento, man.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is this big KHSAA medal, and then on the back, of course, 2023 Wrestling State Champion, 175 pounds. And it's, beautiful sight. A lot of hard work. People don't understand how much work goes into that little piece of, I don't know how big it is, a little bit bigger than a 50-cent piece, but how much work goes into obtaining that and what that means. Ribbon's beautiful, and just a piece of advice. I couldn't tell you how many guys I've met with since I've been doing this series. Like, they'll get a Letterman jacket from the school or a ring or even a medal, and they'll, give it to somebody they're dating or whatever. And 3 months later they break up, and the girl moves to, Santa Monica, California, and they never see it again. And like I said, I couldn't tell you how many guys have told me that, either on camera or off camera, that they gave it to somebody and.
Not my championship. That's maybe my mom, but
I was gonna say,
I'll be seeing her for the rest of my life.
Give it, mom or kids or whoever, but that's there is no amount of money that could buy that.
Nope. That's too many years of hard work.
No amount of money could take that away from you. Well, man, we've got all your awards that you won this season, rightfully deserved, and we're going to get our TV set. We're going to move some things around. We're going to go to GRC. So you guys are seeing what we're seeing, so mark that off your bingo card. We know a lot of you have, when you see me out, you'll say that. There's a lot of little, isms that I have that I've picked up, doing this, that you guys, every time you see me out, it's about one of 3 or 4. So it's kind of cool you guys are picking up on that. But we are at GRC in Pinchester, Kentucky, and we have the 2023, we have the Parade of Champions, we have the face-off, all 14 matches. We have the award ceremony, most outstanding. I was there and I filmed it. The only one I didn't film was the Parade of Champions, and a good friend of the channel, Josh Horn from Martin County, was able to film that. I couldn't make it that day. So you are, now as you guys are going to watch, you're kind of standing back like in the stairwell area. When the 165s come out and the person's holding the sign, 175, do you look around and say, I'm number 1?
Yeah.
There's 16 of us. The rest of you 15, you're wrestling for second place. Is that the way you, had the mentality?
Absolutely. Even since that morning of we wake up and we're in the weigh-ins, I was in the very back. I like to see all of the guys that are in front of me, and it's like, doesn't matter which one of these people step on the line. I'm the best in the state, and I'm going to believe that, and I think that made me perform so much better. So.
And we have, Your Honor, we have the visual evidence. So if you would, kind of hit the space bar. Let's go. All right. So you come out and kind of point you out here. What are you wearing?
Yeah, so I'm wearing all black with you can see my singlet straps out from under my sweatshirt.
I got you.
I'm right in front of the 190 sign
there.
Yep,
I got you.
Coming off to the right there.
And it's going to cut right into the intros. So you are coming out last.
I think that's actually the first time. I don't pay attention a lot to the track that I was hearing my record of 49-1. So
Oh, really?
that was exciting to know. If I get that one last win, it would make it 50-1.
That's going to cut right into the match. So here you go, wearing that. I think all teams should have some type of white, predominantly white singlets. Those are just so clean, and you're just like, wow, man, you know this is a big deal. So you got two of my homeboys. You got Rocky, which I don't think Rocky lives too far from here, and you got Brett Branson out there. You got my Mike Ford on the score table, and Kristen. So
I was real glad to see Rocky reffing this match. I was, especially with that stall call on the last one, I felt that I'd been shooting, taking a lot of shots. So
Right. So you go pulling his head down. And I don't know who it is behind me. Maybe you can help me out. But there was a person behind you that was a Jude Powell fan that screamed the entire time.
that was a very good chance that it was either one of my brothers or maybe Alex Hacker, who is kind of like just a brother. He's always actually my first coach back when we were at Doss area.
Okay. So what's your go-to take down here, bud? What are we looking to do? There you go. Pull him in.
The first time we wrestled, the sweep single was really working because you can see he's a real lead with that, I guess, his left. But the second time we wrestled, it was actually a post high crotch that I was able to score off of because he's real strong and he's comfortable with posting on us. So, but my go-to is definitely I like to grab the head. It's almost like a slide by, but it's more with the wrist because they can kind of feel when you tuck that arm in. So I like to just go right on the head and then just pull it off. But he'd already kind of got used to that, so I had to work around that.
And you both got some good definition in your arm. So that 165 to about 195, 215, man, those are some absolute brutes.
Yeah.
Just monsters.
So right here you can see I'm doing a lot of just snapping and faking because he's really strong and he feels comfortable with that right there. He's trying to grab on there with that Russian tie. And I just knew, like, stay out of that. That's where he's comfortable. So I wasn't going to let him wrestle his match.
Right. There it is. Get back.
Yeah, and I'm a little taller and longer, and he's more short and stout. He was really strong, and there I'm just trying to hold on to those underhooks because he's really good with that body lock too, which he got me called for stalling twice the other two matches.
That was a quick first period.
Yeah.
All right, so you defer. He's taken down. What are we looking to do? Like what? Not necessarily what you do here, but like what is your bread and butter breakdown or?
Yeah, so on a really strong guy there, I know that chop probably wasn't going to work, so I like to just go with the spiral ride, but he's real good at coming up.
Get your one. Neutral.
So we do very similar stand-ups too. We don't do a lot of sit-outs. We just kind of come off to the side and just build up from there. Just real strong base.
Right.
So I was pretty comfortable here. I knew that my pace was already better than his. I was definitely more the aggressor, and I was comfortable. There was a whole nother period left, so I wasn't rushing anything. And this is actually how you'd almost got me called for stalling the other two matches. So I was just trying to really circle inside and keep my pressure.
There goes another good snap. Nothing.
And from there, I really didn't want to come up on the body. I would have liked to stay locked around the leg. Even my brother was saying, don't come up. Like, I didn't try. He's so strong, he was able to pull my arm up to that, up to his waist.
So we're neutral. I think that's the first time you guys have been out of bounds this whole match. Any stoppage.
And that's actually Mr. Wheeler there sitting on the ground with the camera.
Yep.
That's my off-season coach.
Whoever that is yelling is right behind me is the one that was going crazy.
Yeah. Sounds like Alex.
Not me, by the way. Another one. Somebody else is probably pretty cool though with that name. So he got hit with the stalling right there. You're putting the pressure on. And he's off camera, but your dad couldn't make it this year. This is the first time he's actually got to watch the match.
Yes, sir.
So that's cool.
So, yeah, that is super exciting. But he's seen parts and pieces of it that we've got, but he hasn't seen the whole match, the full 6 minutes. So.
And you take down, I think that was a given.
Yeah, I hadn't been held down all year, and I'd already picked down the previous matches with him, so I was pretty confident with going there.
So there you go. Tied up, 1-1.
I'd already taken shots, so I thought maybe let him get a stall call and just push him out. Yeah, with right there, so when we hit the slide by, my knee actually came close to his hips and we collided knees, which I didn't really feel anything, but you know how that works, different angles.
He took injury time there, which I mean, it happens. Sometimes you got to have it.
A big thing is when I saw his face, I knew the pressure was on. I think 90% of the time when you see someone that looks like that, you can be confident you can win the match. So
right.
I was just ready to keep the pressure on, and I knew I could score from there.
Two green. So score now 3-1.
And a whole minute left still.
Yep.
So right here, I was really tempted on maybe trying to go with the crossbody hook and try to turn him there, but I really didn't want to risk anything because I know how strong he was. I didn't know how much energy or what type of kick he had in him, so I was really just going to sit there and try to work something if it came, but didn't want to try anything risky.
Anytime it gets to a situation like this close, you got everybody in the world yelling, stalling on top, stalling on bottom. And
now, the second time that we had wrestled at semi-state, I was up, and with the last 7 seconds of the second period, he got an escape, and I believe that's what really made the difference in the match. So I was not going to let him escape here.
Yeah. So you are still, you're still wrestling. You got 8 seconds to go.
That was just the greatest feeling ever.
Oh, yeah. There it is, man. 3-1.
More than excitement was just relief. It was such a relieving feeling.
You do your best Hulk Hogan impression?
Yeah.
Now, who have you got in your corner here?
That's Coach Joe and Mr. Moppin. So those are... They've been coaching me all 4 years of my career, and Coach Joe's actually been with me since middle school, possibly even elementary. He's been around, so I'm really close with all of those guys. And Coach Damon there in the white, he's been with me since I started at Fairdale, so elementary. You have Alex Hacker there, who's probably yelling the loudest.
I think that was him. Actually.
Wow. Yeah, that was one coach. His son lost to the guy down in Johnson Central.
Oh yeah.
JJ Jude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Coach Moppin. That's actually Jake Moppin's dad. So that's actually a super cool story. That's one of his first times coaching and or getting a state title out of someone in the finals.
And that was his son wrestled at 171 pounds against JJ in 2011. So kind of cool.
Yeah, so we have very similar wrestling styles too. He says it all the time. He feels like he's coaching the same style of wrestler.
And this was right after Uriah and the
Lane Kaiser's match.
Yeah, Lane's match at 190, 195 I believe it is, or 190, and whenever you come off the podium, I'm there with my camera, waiting to get some more footage for the team. And you come up and you're like, dude, we get to do my review video now. And I was like, man, that's great. We got to get it set up.
Yeah, I'd been watching all the review videos. I thought they were so cool. And just, the second I seen you, it clicked. I was like, I get that chance now, that my review video.
You get your own, man. You get your own. It's so cool. We've created, that, and we've created a brand, if you will. And
yes, sir.
Another, outside of getting this gold medal, man, is being able to tell your story of what got you here. Like I've said, and I think it's about every video. You walk into a gym, walk into a school, wherever it may be, and they may have like banners or a plaque or something in the trophy case, saying name, year, weight, all that kind of stuff. But it really doesn't tell the story.
Yeah.
When you're at your home, and home, mat room, wherever it is we meet people at, and you're able to tell how you started and tell I guess the struggles of what got you from where you are or where you were to where you are now. It's so much just a better storytelling for the entire world to see, because not everybody's going to get to go to Fairdale High School and see the banner or whatever it is that they have. Do they have anything up for the guy from 1990? Anything?
Yeah, they do. So we have almost like a plaque room in the front of our gym where you can just see all of our state champions over the years, including the basketball team and Thomas Sanders. So, and I remember I actually told the journalist when he interviewed me after the match, just remember seeing Thomas Sanders' face and just wishing that I could be in that spot, just waiting that one day I would win a state title and get my face up there too. So
the talking about the NCAA tournament, the wrestling NCAA tournament last night, Saturday night, the kid, his name escapes me, but the kid from Princeton, I think Princeton only had one national champion in their history. He went there on his visit. He was like, I want to move that guy's photo over just a little bit so I can put my own up. I want to, I want to be on that wall. And now, man, you're on the Fairdale wall. You're in the record books forever. So watching it back, though, I'm sure you probably got a chance to watch it several times. Does it play out like the way you remember, or like do you think it was shorter, longer? Just kind of walk us through like how you feel about the way the match goes.
Yeah, I really felt like I wish if I could go back I would wrestle a little more offensive, but he's a really good wrestler. I'm happy to have had a good competition in the finals and having an easy way up. I'm glad to have that hard weight class, but yeah, I mean, I felt like it all just went by so fast. Like there's so much adrenaline. Like the match started and the next thing you know, we're already in the last 30 seconds and it's like, wow, like so much has led up to this moment, and like there's so many people around, you're not hearing none of it. You're just in that spot locked in, almost blacked out. Like you almost don't even really recall or can remember very much because you're so focused and locked in, and so much adrenaline. Like it's hard to recall the moments of the match, but yeah.
I got, and we'll start wrapping it up, but we met with Chris Dunn, 3-time state champion from Woodford County, 97, 98, 99. And he said in his 99 video that like he probably could have pinned in like the first period, but he's like, I didn't want it to end. I didn't want this to end. This is all I'd ever done. I know I was going to win my third state championship. I just didn't want to have my high school career end quickly. I just wanted to get out, enjoy it, be under the lights one more time. So I can understand, both sides of it, wanting to get out, get it done quick, or just, savor in everything that the experience has to offer.
I really focus on that throughout the season. I like to enjoy my matches. My coach would say, go out there and get it done, and I would be out there goofing off or just really enjoying that time of, I never wanted to, embarrass anyone. I like to enjoy, especially if I'm wrestling a new kid, I like to introduce them, like they're excited to wrestle a good wrestler. So it's like, let's have a little fun with it, let's feel out. So I really do like to wrestle a full match. It's definitely a lot more fun, but coming into a state tournament, like I said, a lot of those guys are there for business. So it's get it done with. But yeah, it is crazy to think that my high school wrestling career is over, but on to the next step. So
That's it. I mean, that, and the parting words I'll say is, being out of school, I can't say I've been out of school 20 years, but I have been, and the journey that we have, once we leave school is, who knows where life, takes you. Who knows how life goes for you, for everybody, once you leave. Because, school's so structured. You know what time you're going to be there. You know what time you're going to go to this class. You know what time, you could duck out if you're a senior or whatever the case may be. But the journey that we go on, for the most part, high school, what you do, not necessarily going to high school, but what you accomplish for yourself in high school, for some people, is the pinnacle of their athletic success, whether it's winning a state championship, individual, as a team, getting a perfect on an ACT, getting a full ride scholarship. What we do there in high school, we don't want to live there, but it's cool to be able to go back and say, this is part of my life story. This is in chapter so-and-so. This is in chapter, if you're going to go by age, this is from chapter 14 to 18. This is who I was. I'm proud to say I went to Fairdale. I'm proud to say I went to whatever school. I'm proud to say that I was a state champion wrestler. I'm proud to say, I got a 1600 on my SAT or whatever it is. It's just so many people, I guess, over the years have neglected to take pride in what they have done. But with this series, man, we've brought it back out of a lot of people. And, they've had to go to parents' house, step-parents' house, wherever, grandma, grandpa's house, and dig stuff up. And they're like, man, I haven't saw my yearbook. I called my buddy so-and-so. Man, we're going out to eat next week, man. We added each other on Facebook. Or, our kids now are, wrestling or whatever the case may be. It's just cool, though, man, that, we can celebrate part of our life story like this. So anything to wrap it up, man?
Yeah, I mean, just like you were saying, like, high school is such a important part of your life. Like, it's nice to really have a kickstart to, I guess my future with the confidence of overcoming, hard things. And especially with the sport of wrestling, like, I have such a huge thanks and appreciation for it because, I feel like if I can accomplish a state title in Kentucky, what can I do? So
I think that's a perfect place to end. So, Jude, man, thank you for having me here at your house.
Thanks
thank
for
you
coming
to your family for letting me come up and do this today. That's all that we have with Mr. Powell. We will see you guys on the mats.